Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Doing Business in Bentonville. I'm Andy Wilson. I'm an executive leader, and I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And I'm going to tell you, you're doing a great job. We really appreciate all that you're doing, sharing our podcast, listening and watching our podcast. And because of you are doing such a great job, we're now in 36 countries, so thank you for that. We're being viewed and listened and watched. So, we just want to continue to grow. Your support, you do that. So it's... we just appreciate it so much here at Doing Business in Bentonville. I have such a great guest today, a friend, a colleague, former colleague, and I want you to meet my friend, Mike Graen. Mike, welcome.
Thank you very much, Andy. Pleasure to be here.
It is so great to have you. We've been working on this for some time.
Yeah.
You've been a busy man.
Yes, I have.
Hey, but not busy as you are. Hey, I just want to be able to be in 36 countries without having to go through passport and immigration. That'd be pretty sweet.
I would tell you, it is so humble. The short of that, when one of our team members said, hey, we look at our analytics every week and dive into all that. And one day, he's mentioned that, and I went, no. Say that again. Who are you talking about? But it is just real humbling that people are reviewing us, and we want to really continue to bring you great content and great conversation to help you and bring us together around what we're so passionate about is retail, omnichannel model. We're just so passionate about that. Now, you're going to hear today some great stories. Now, if he tells a story about me, I don't know you should believe that or not. But Michael and I, first of all, we're going to talk about his career, 40 plus years, and you're going to hear about it. He's going to hear about his career around Procter Gamble, about Walmart. That's where we work together, and a great company called Crossmark, and so many things. So, Michael, let's talk about your company. Okay, so your company is Collaboration LLC.
Correct.
What is that?
That's a great question. It probably, if we told the story backwards, it would make more sense. But it really comes from a foundational understanding of I've spent 42 years in the industry, about 25 years of that with Procter Gamble. So I kind of understand the CPG, especially the influx of the CPG suppliers that have moved into the Bentonville area. Then I spent about 15 years with Walmart, leading some of their retail technology, which we certainly will probably talk to. Right. And I spent a couple of years with Crossmark. And so as a result of those learnings, I just felt very, very fortunate, very, very blessed to be able to have different experiences because we're all looking at the same problem, but we're looking at it through a different lens. Yeah. And I decided in 2019 that, hey, I just really want to go out and help other CPG companies and retailers that are struggling with the same thing. And what I didn't anticipate is the number of people that were really struggling with the same thing. They all want to get their products to the shelf. Yeah. They want it available for the customer. They want it available for online picking in the store. They want it available on omnichannel because if you don't have your stuff there, customers get frustrated. There's 1,000 reasons why things don't get on the shelf. I have a lot of experience in different ways to make sure that happens. So and I do believe strongly that there's not a single solution out there, which is the reason I call it collaboration. Yes. That's a nice buzzword, but if it's not everybody working together, it's probably not going to happen. So that makes it more difficult and challenging, but it's also the only way to get something manufactured and through a distribution network and all the way to a retail store and make sure it's there for the customer at a great price. Right.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to break all that down. And now I'm going to tell you on the front end, we're going to tell some stories. And, my friends, they all went like, hey, you really work with Sam Walton? I went, yeah. And they went, like real? I went, yes, like real. Well, I'll tell you, so did Michael, and he's going to share about that. But, Michael, I think we got to set the stage here, okay? We're going to go way back when Walmart brought suppliers to Northwest Arkansas. It's been a while back. And Michael was one of the first suppliers to move to Bentonville, Arkansas in the company. He's going to talk about that. And through that process, he's going to weave some great Sam Walton stories in that. You're going to love that, and then talk about that. And then we're going to get into a bit about what it's been like growing up in Northwest Arkansas. And I've been here 30 plus years. Michael's been here longer than me. And we both have grown up with Walmart. We've both grown up here in Northwest Arkansas, and what a change. You know, but it's such a great place. It's not a secret anymore, so I can say that. We used to keep it a secret, but not anymore. It's out, isn't it, Michael?
It's out.
Okay, Michael, set the story. Let's go down and let's have some fun here.
Yeah. Well, from a professional standpoint, I dated my best friend in high school, Ruthie. We had dated for about a year, and then I found out I was going to be going to school at the University of Cincinnati. So we literally drove back and forth for 3 years. Mike Graen and Sandy were so bad because we spent all weekend driving back and forth, visiting each other on the weekend. So she finished up her dental hygiene degree, and we got married at 19, and she put me the rest of the way through school. The good news is I got married to my best friend. The bad news is now I have to suddenly start paying for all of my education bills because my father was a university professor. But it was great. I got my bachelor's degree in information technology at the University of Cincinnati, and then got my MBA in management. And then I started looking for jobs, and the first job that was available to me was Procter Gamble. I mean, it's a Cincinnati company, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I joined them in 1982, I guess it was. Spent about 3 or 4 years with them there. Really enjoyed it. Then they moved me to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You know what's in Cape Girardeau, Missouri?
Oh, yes, I've been there.
You've been there. Well, they have stores there, but they also have a very large manufacturing plant for Procter & Gamble that make diapers and Always, et cetera. So I became the systems manager for that. Yeah. And I was supposed to be there for 5 years, and I got a phone call in 18 months going, Mike, we need you to relocate to Fayetteville. I go, okay, what's in Fayetteville? Walmart. And I go, Walmart's not in Fayetteville, North Carolina. No. Wrong Fayetteville, Mike. Arkansas. Okay. And so we took a trip down here. And the idea behind was there's a pre-work that happened ahead of time, which is Procter & Gamble was a really big CPG company, made incredibly good brands, and they viewed their customers as the shoppers who shop in the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Walmart carried P&G products, felt like their customers were the ones that were making the buying decisions.
Yeah.
And this is kind of heresy. And there's books written on this, and there's actually a book that's happening right now being developed about the whole P&G Walmart story. So I won't give away the whole thing.
Okay.
But the bottom line is that P&G was big, and they almost treated Walmart like a necessary evil to reach their end consumer.
Right.
Okay. And so the relationship at the buyer and seller rate was tremendously adversarial, very transactional, not very good at all, up to and including Sam Walton, who we both knew, actually gave the Vendor of the Year award, I think it was 1987, to Procter & Gamble because of the volume of business they were doing, doing a lot of business. They called the CEO of P&G, and P&G wouldn't take Sam Walton's phone call. Now, obviously,
Was this this was in the 80s, right?
This was in the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
So Walmart wasn't Walmart yet.
Right.
But the bottom line is the CEO felt like their job was to communicate with the consumers, and the sales organization talks to customers.
Right.
Well, obviously, that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm not going to give away the whole story because we're hoping to have Tom Luccio come and join us.
We will have him to come join us.
But the bottom line is that was not a good thing. And Sam Walton was like, it's a shame that two big companies don't like working with each other. And he looked at me one day and he goes, Mike, if P&G thought of us, our stores, as an extension of your company, you would treat us a lot different. Wow. Couldn't argue with it.
Yeah.
Exactly right. We weren't treating him like that. Yeah. So bottom line, I relocated here in 1989 with like two other people. We actually set up a office in the downtown Fayetteville Square. That was literally right across the street from, at the time it was called McElroy Bank, but now it's Arvest Bank.
Right.
So we started down there and didn't know what I was supposed to do. I really kind of muddled through it, but I basically spent almost 20 years working on that Procter & Gamble Walmart relationship. We talked more stories about that, but the bottom line is that was a pivotal change for P&G.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people watching P&G, they would go, well, I guess we all have to move their place there. Yeah. You said something earlier that I'm not sure is exactly true. I don't know that Sam Walton wanted all these people moving in here. Well,
he wanted a better working relationship with them.
Yeah.
He wanted to deal with the decision makers. I'm not sure he wanted 3,000 different suppliers to move into the
I don't know if he visioned that. No, and so was great. He was a great visionary. But I remember when we talked about it, because I think I may have been doing a set in merchandising at the time, and before I went into full-time operations and HR. But one of the things I know we talked about was the importance. What Sam talked about was the importance of the supplier understanding who their customer was. Mm-hmm. And he felt that you could relocate and here and work with, the merchandising, and then in the stores and understanding the customer, it'd be better. I think 100%. That's where his vision was.
100%.
And so, but I don't think he ever visioned 3,000 plus.
I don't think he did either, for sure. So
and that's what it is here today, right? Something like that.
I'm a little out of date on how many, but the last time I heard there was somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 supplier teams. A supplier team is defined by not just the sales function, because when we started working with Walmart, we realized sales had been working with merchandising forever,
right?
And that wasn't working. Okay.
Right.
What we need to do is include people like supply chain, customer service, finance, store operations, IT, who I was.
Yeah.
All these functions have to work together to basically create the new world.
Okay. Tell us about your downtown Fayetteville, and you're across from McElroy Bank at the time, now the RVS Bank, which is part of the Walmart Enterprises. RVS Bank is, but. So McElroy was too at the time. But so you Sam Walton, you run into Sam Walton downtown. How was that?
It was unbelievable. So Sam Walton and I had met one other time. And it was like 3 months beforehand at a shareholder meeting of all other things.
Okay.
And literally, he must have met thousands of people that day. He walks into this flower shop, and it's myself and Harry Campbell, the sales account manager for shampoo, and I think Kim Hensley and Ella, who are there, who are our administrative and technical folks that are helping us start up the office. Sam Walton walks in, and I'm going, Mr. Sam. And he said, Mike, how you doing? And I immediately looked down to see if I had my badge on, and I didn't. I'm going, it was 3 months ago I met him. I met him for 30 seconds, if that, and he remembered my name. How's Procter Gamble doing? They're doing great, Mr. Sam. He says, I just want to come see how the office is doing. How you guys doing? I go, we're doing great. He goes, how about your house loans? Are they hooking you up over here at McElroy? I didn't know McElroy and Sam Walton were related. I had no idea. I said, Mr. Sam, it's interesting you ask. I just met with them this morning, and no, their rates are a lot higher than, I can't remember, First National or whatever, so we're looking at potentially financing with First National. He goes, you got a phone around here? Yeah, right there. He goes, just let me, hang on a second. He called, this is, I won't say the guy's name.
Yeah.
This is Sam. Yeah. Well, I got a couple people from Procter Gamble over here, and they're not getting very good rates from you guys. They're going to be right over, and you're going to take care of it. Right? Okay. All right, bye. Click. He goes, you go visit Billy Bob. I'll just call it Billy Bob. Walk in, and he was like, you know Mr. Sam? I go, yeah, I guess. I didn't know he had anything to do with McElroy. He goes, we're going to give you a good deal. So the entire team got their loans through McElroy, which was hilarious. But it was a fun. I'm not saying that that's how you do it, but it was a really, really cool experience. The fact that he took time out of his busy schedule to come into the office just to say hi, thanks for being there.
Yeah.
Not only that, he said, I'm going to help you out and make sure we get you a good loan and give you a good experience. just that customer service.
Right. Okay, now you guys have set up shop, Northwest Arkansas, in Fayetteville. Now the work begins.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about the work. Okay, how did it go, and how, I know Sam was involved. This is the first time, first one. I know he's very involved in this, right?
It was.
So talk about that.
Well, you got to understand that P&G's method was 3 days of total quality workshops and flow charts and all this other kind of stuff. And Walmart was like, try to do it, fix it. So we tried to do the P&G way. Let's have a vision and a strategy and operating principles. And after about the third hour, the merchants are just going, can we just talk about products and how we can get the products in the store? Well, why does everything have to be so complicated, et cetera? So when we have Tom come in, we actually got some focus group tapes that I want to share with you guys of the 1987 relationship between P&G and Walmart. Oh, wow. We went in and said, hey, Walmart, what do you think of P&G? And boy, they gave it both barrels. Yeah. They went into Walmart and said, what do you think? Or P&G said, what do you think of Walmart? Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, we tried to do this whole philosophical, and we just said, look, let's just write down what we don't like each other. I mean, our process got just write on a sticky note what you don't like about the other company. Ooh, they had no problem doing that, both sides. And then they prioritized it, and then it started out basically, I believe there were 4 basic components. Number one, we've got to simplify the business. Yeah. We have people flying in from Dallas, flying back out, somebody else flying in from St. Louis, making the same call on the same person. They get completely different answers than the last guy that was there. It's just, it was not working, right? Number 2, from a technical standpoint, the first question I get is, how do I send an email to Walmart? We can't do that. You couldn't email outside the company. You could email anybody at P&G, and Walmart could email anybody inside of Walmart. We couldn't send an email to our customer. Yeah. We got to fix that. Yeah. So I went in and worked with the IT folks at Walmart and connected the wire, so we actually had emails that went back and forth. And then the other one, this was hilarious. 100% of every purchase order and every invoice was produced via a fax machine.
Oh, my God.
And for those of you who don't know what a fax machine is, I won't go there. But literally, Walmart would key in the orders, hit the button, they would come over here, let's print on a fax machine, we print them out, we type them back into our systems. That's how it happened.
Wow.
And so the first priority was we've got to simplify that. That's just errors upon errors and way too much time. Right. So we connected the data via electronic data interchange. So all the purchase orders, invoicing, payment, et cetera, was all done electronically. But yeah, it really started out was, tell me the things that you absolutely don't like about the other company.
That's amazing.
Then we go, let's go see if we can get it fixed.
But I think that's wonderful, actually. I think I think that's what began to form a great relationship. The honesty of back and forth.
Yeah.
And that was powerful.
Yeah.
Now, I think one day someone asked you how much revenue. Because he always asked how sales was. Always. Yeah. And so how'd that go?
Not good. So after we got a lot of this up and running, my boss, Tom Muccio, which was our team leader, incredible leader,
yes,
said, we need to do a business review with Walmart. I go, okay, cool, we can do that. So I need to know how much business we did with Walmart last year. We were kind of finishing out the fiscal year.
Tom asked, was it Tom asking?
Tom asked me that question. And so I said, let me see what I can find out.
Yeah.
And here's what I found out.
Yeah.
We can't do that, okay? Because P&G was built on geography and products.
Right.
So I could tell you how many diapers I sold in Florida or how much Tide I sold in California. I had no idea for one retailer, Walmart, how much we did across all of our businesses.
Wow.
So it literally took us 6 weeks to get the numbers. And it was copy, paste, go to this data, get it all synced up, et cetera. Finally got the results. And we went up to talk to Walmart, and Sam happened to walk into the room. It wasn't originally supposed to be Sam, but he walked in the room. He wanted to know what are the results of this. And we'll role play a little bit here with you, Andy, because you're an extra Walmart guy. I said, Mr. Sam, last year we did 23 million statistical cases with you. How do you like it now? What do you think?
I can't imagine how he responded to that.
How would you respond to that?
Well, that means nothing. Yeah.
What do you mean it means nothing? I spent 6 weeks working on this, Andy. Come on.
Sam wants to know about sales at the end of the day. At Walmart, how much Walmart sales of P&G? Oh. That's what he wants to know, right?
You know what he said?
What did he say?
You play a really good Sam Walton. He goes, Mike, what's a stat case?
Yeah.
And I go, well, we've got these tubes of toothpaste over here and these great big boxes of detergent. We have to equate them, so we calculate a statistical number.
Yeah.
It's purely for investment purposes inside of P&G.
Yeah.
So, and he said, you know what? I don't think I know what a stat case is. And Mike, I'm not sure that I care. Matter of fact, Mike, I don't even know that I care about what you ship to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you care about? Yeah. I care about how much of your stuff sells to my through my registers. Yeah. That's what I care about. Yeah. And we don't make enough money on you guys. I go, oh, profitability wise? Yeah. Go, how much do you make? I don't know, but it's not enough. And I go, Mr. Sam, and if I had a cell phone back then, I'd go, honey, don't unpack. We're not going to be here long. I've been working on this for 6 months, and Mr. Sam hates it. It's not what he wanted. I go, Mr. Sam, it's taken me 6 weeks to get this. And you just don't think about it that way. Yeah. If you tell me how much you sell of our stuff, I'll come back with the answers to that question. But I have no idea. All we know is what we ship to you. Mm-hmm. So he sends me over to, I'm going to go ahead and say his name, Bobby Barton.
Oh, yeah, sure. He was running IT, ISD at the time.
Right.
Great guy. A great guy.
Yeah. That didn't have a great experience with me at all. Because I said, hey, Bobby, Mr. Sam sent me over. I'm Mike Graen. I'm with Procter Gamble. I'm one of your suppliers. And he said, no, you're not. He says, IBM, HP, AT&T, those are my suppliers. You're one of those merchandising guys. I go, no, I'm the IT guy for P&G. Okay, whatever. He wants me to get some data. He kind of grumble. He called Randy Mott.
Yeah, right.
And another good guy. Yeah. I went and worked with Randy, and I got a disc, literally on a floppy disk, and drove it back to Fayetteville, and found out how much business that we were doing with Walmart.
Wow.
First time ever.
Wow.
And I can't share the actual numbers. Obviously, it's confidential. Yeah. But the profitability situation was not good.
No.
Because P&G had a bunch of lost leader items, Tide and Pampers and Bounty. They don't ever want to get beat on those. Mm-hmm. So they will oftentimes sell them at no profit or sometimes a loss.
You're right.
And so you look at the P&G Walmart relationship, we sold a lot of stuff at the register. We know exactly what we sold, but the profitability was not a good situation. Mm-hmm. Well, we literally in a year started giving this to the salespeople going, do you know how much they sell of your stuff? I go, yeah, it's written. No, not how much you ship, how much you sell. Yeah. No, here's how much you sell. Oh, okay, cool. That's really interesting. Mm. But here's how much they either make or don't make on these. He goes, that's why they're always yelling about profitability. Yeah, that's probably right. So literally within a year, we took that negative situation and turned it into a very positive. And it wasn't by changing prices. It was just about doing things smarter. You know, let's feature something that's, for example, they make a little bit of money on, rather than something that's comped at Target and Kmart and all that kind of stuff. And we went back in a year later and we told the story and said, Mr. Sam, this is what we did last year. You've already seen that. This is what we did this year. And he went, oh, wow, that's huge. Well, yeah, thank you. He goes, man, I love this. If I can fix Procter & Gamble, if I can fix Procter & Gamble, I wonder what I can do with everybody else. And he said, Mike, would you be willing to come inside of Walmart for about 2 years? We need to share this data with everyone. We need to share this with suppliers because if they don't know how much we're selling and what we're making, how are they supposed to make a difference? So we built a platform that ended up becoming Retail Link, and I'm really, really proud of the time that I spent up there. But that was the story, the original story, working with Randy Mott, Randy Sally, and all those guys. Yeah, we wanted to build a platform that shared this data with suppliers, and that was pretty cool.
You know, what makes this such a great story is that you all paved the way for what's happening today. You know, and a lot of bumps, a lot of up and downs, things like that. And I know I've been there when I've seen sort of my career pass in front of my face, in front of Sam, when I said something really stupid. You know, and like, okay, don't unpack. I get that. And so, you know, but you're right. You guys really took the hit and paved the way now for like we said earlier, 3,000-ish suppliers here today, servicing the customer, Walmart, the customer, and understanding the customer better. And that's amazing. And that credit goes to, you know, Tom Muccio and his team, part of that team, making that possible.
Yep.
Because Tom really did hang in there.
Yeah.
And for all of our guests, we mentioned Tom Muccio saying a few times, we're going to have Tom Muccio and Mike back very, very soon. And we're going to talk a lot about the story because there's so much there that we can learn and even and if you're on the supplier side, even make the supplier side better. If you're on servicing Walmart from technology, analytics, whatever, there'll be tremendous learnings for all of you into that process. So you got to come back and do that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Mike, you went inside Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your time at Walmart.
Well, this is when I was still with P&G. I was inside Walmart.
Right.
But
yeah,
a couple of things that I thought were really interesting, and I got to see it. I got to see it very clearly, which is Procter & Gamble always thought about Walmart as their customer.
Mm-hmm.
What Mr. Sam and the Walmart folks taught us is we're not your customer.
Mm-hmm.
The customer is the person that buys Tide detergent in a Walmart store.
Right, correct.
So we started every conversation, and we had hundreds of debates, lots of debates,
right,
arguments to a point. And we'd always come back when we couldn't figure out where to go, what's the right thing for the customer? Mm-hmm. What's the right person, the person buying Tide detergent in a Walmart store?
Now you're asking the right questions, though.
Exactly.
See, now you're asking. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that P&G was always right, because they weren't.
Right.
And it didn't mean that Walmart was always right, because they weren't. They asked us to do some very expensive things that were no value to P&G. Mm-hmm. It cost money for P&G. And by the way, all the suppliers, we called them Dear Valued Supplier Letters. Mm-hmm. They asked us to say, well, we're doing this, so you need to do this. Mm-hmm. And it was very expensive, and we got no benefit out of it. So we push back and go, what's the right thing for the customer? Because I don't think just asking us to spend $200,000 to do this without any value to the customer makes any sense. Let's come up with a different way. So we really got to invent a third way, because we started to think of that. So that was the first thing. That is just spending 2 years or so inside of Walmart, understanding they see everything through the customer's eyes. The second thing I think was really interesting is we all have this shell game that we play. Like, we know what's happening in our four walls.
Right.
We have no idea what's happening upstream. We really don't have a lot of idea what's going downstream.
Yeah.
So the degree you can break down those walls and go, no, I see, in order for I to have Bounty paper towels on the shelf, I have to have a really good understanding of what's selling at the shelf, so I can create a forecast of how much I think will sell at the shelf, which will create an order forecast, which is how much we need to order to get into the DCs, which goes all the way back to the people that are cutting down trees for the next set of paper towel. When we stop separating all this data and lay that all out so people see visibility, a lot of really good positive things happen. And I think that to me was the big aha is, you think you're like the world is your doors, and it's not. It's you think about all the things that have to happen to get a Bounty paper towel in a Walmart store. It's amazing we have Bounty paper towels in there at all.
Well, what I heard you just say, it's a great story, but what I heard you say, and I think this is such a great learning for all of us, is that you had to get closer to your customer. And then Walmart had to get closer to their supplier, which is you guys.
Yeah.
And had to break all that down, like you said, and understand the process. And again, that's breaking down a lot of walls. I mean, I can't imagine, because those walls are barriers.
Right.
And you guys had to break them down at the beginning.
Yeah. And I think it happens everywhere. By the way, when I left P&G and go to Walmart, we can talk about that more later.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations in the home office about systems and things we were going to put into stores to make things easier. And there were rampant debates about how the best way to do it. I've been known today, we're shutting down this discussion right now. All 20 of you, get in your car. We're going to go to store 100. Yeah. We're going to go do the work. So we understand what they have to do rather than us sitting here philosophizing on what we should be doing. And that was always a mind breaker, because when you see it through your customer's eye, in this case, it was the associates doing the work in the store, they go, oh, my idea is not going to work at all. That's a horrible idea.
Right.
That's why you get that close to them, so you understand what's going on.
That brings up, and when I was going through the fast track program at Walmart, you had to go and work in a real job and in these different divisions. And I was in merchandising for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it. I was in boys wear, and I really enjoyed it. But my leader, she said, you have to go to the stores, which we travel to stores. That's all part of it. But I had to go spend a day in the stores, and it was called Eat What You Cook. You remember that?
Yep.
So in other words, when you bought the product, you had to go, and I had to spend a day with my department manager in boys wear, And I had to go through the good, bad, and ugly and talk to her, talk to customers that came into the department, talk about, what I did, what I bought that sold, what I bought that didn't sell, why didn't I do this? But what great learning. Eat what you cook. And that was a requirement to go out a couple of times a year to do that. But man, did I learn as a young buyer back then. And that's exactly what you guys did. You went to the stores to eat what you cook.
Well, and not only that, we took it a step further. We not only saw what was happening at the stores, but when I was still with P&G, again, we're having these philosophical how to the DCs and all this stuff. We actually created an order called staple yourself to the item. And it sounded weird, and kind of hurt. But we literally, we would go and say, okay, we'd go to the store and we see the product being unloaded from the truck, in the back room, stock to the shelf, up to top stock, back to the back if it didn't fit, all the product flow inside the store. So we got that. Then we went and spent a couple hours with the people at Walmart who were processing orders for the DCs. And when they hit end and send, we got in our car and we drove to the Procter Gamble plant to receive that order and see what all they had to do that. Wow. Then we saw them loading the truck, and we got back in our cars and drove to DC 6094, watched them unload that stuff, and then try and get it fulfilled all the way back to the Walmart. So you basically, you're following that whole process of exactly where stuff's going. You're going, oh, let me tell you about the 80 things that we're doing that is not efficient. We're doing stuff that absolutely causes havoc for the stores or for the DCs, and they're very simple things. Like we would take things and put them on pallets and stretch wrap them. Well, then they would unload them at the DC, and the first thing you do is cut the stretch wrap and throw it away. It's like, why are we stretch wrapping them? They're not going anywhere. They're all packed in there. Let's stop stretch wrapping. Let's save the money. Yeah, it's little stuff like that. It wasn't real hard stuff. Now, there's some hard stuff that you got to do, but literally, you go walk this in through the customer's eyes. Right. You go, well, that's stupid. Why do we do that? I mean, to me, it's that's the important learning is everybody's taking. It's like an accident happened in the middle. These saw this, they saw this, and I saw both of them, and I can tell exactly what happened. I just said from a different point of view.
Well, I think it's the philosophy that Walmart had, and that you had to travel to stores. When I was a regional, I traveled to stores 3-4 days a week. Yeah, and you got close to the customers, you got close to the associates, and the community. And you just learned so much. And we would bring those ideas back every Friday in our Friday management meeting. Someone asked us, where'd you go this week? What'd you learn? What'd you see? What's competition doing? You had to visit competition. And it's all getting close to what counts. And that's your customers, your competition, and the people, and associates in this case. But, Michael, what you all did changed everything. It changed everything. And the learning and company after company that came here probably had very similar experiences. And because of Sam's idea to move suppliers Northwest Arkansas, close to the home office, I think it was one of the critical decisions, decisions that helped Walmart become what Walmart's become, and they released their quarter results today. Yeah. And wow.
Tremendous.
It's tremendous.
Tremendous.
Everything from, comp store sales increased, the e-commerce sales increased, double-digit profitability, double-digit increase, phenomenal.
Yep.
And it took so much of that work that you talked about 30 plus years ago to get here. I mean, so many pieces. Great stories. Now, I do a couple of things I want to do before we have to get out of here, but because I want to have you back. Okay. Love that. I want you to come back because first of all, we got to talk about what you do in your company. We haven't got there yet, but this has been too good. This is a great foundation, Michael, to people to know you and know what you do, what you're about, and you've heard that. I mean, and it's so many more stories. You did spend time in Walmart.
Yes.
And how many years were you there?
Like 10 or 12.
All right. Yep. And what did you do there?
Yeah, so I actually got a chance to retire early from Procter Gamble in 2008 on a Friday. And on Monday morning, I was working at Walmart.
Why is that not surprising?
It shouldn't be surprising. So I was actually in a group called it was called at the time Central Operations Group. It's now called the End-to-End Operations Group. But it was a combination of operations and innovation. What are the new things we want to put available and make available to our associates' hands? So Rick Webb, remember Rick? Rick
sure.
ran that organization, and I was part of the team that was standing up new technology. Yeah. So some of my big focus has been really for a long time now on shelf availability. What's that mean? Well, is this bottle of water available for the customer to buy? Not is it in the back room, not is it in a trailer somewhere. When they go in to buy it, is it available for them to purchase? When you think about a normal supercenter has 100 to 150,000 items in it. Are they all available for the customer to buy? Are they sitting in the back room? Are they sitting in a riser somewhere?
Yeah.
Are they in a container in the back?
Right.
If they're not on the sales floor where a customer can buy them, they're not available. Right? You disappoint a customer. And by the way, every customer who walks in with one of these for the most part, they basically have no loyalty to Walmart. They have loyalty to what they want. I'm looking for this Hewlett-Packard black printer cartridge.
Yeah.
I'm walking up to this printer cartridges in the store. They've got 1,000 printer cartridges, but the HP one for my printer is not there. I bring out my phone. I use Walmart Wi-Fi. I ordered from Amazon. Thank you very much. Right? That's what happens. So there's no loyalty to Walmart. The and Doug McMillan would even say that. The loyalty's gone. You just want what they want. So what they want to create experience, whether it's digitally, e-commerce, omnichannel, brick and mortar, they just want what they want.
Right.
And saving people money so they can live better is important, but I would argue saving people time, especially in today's environment, is almost as important as money.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I've tried to do is really focus on, you remember when you ran that store where were you again?
Well, my last store was West Memphis, Arkansas.
West Memphis.
Yeah.
So if somebody came in and say, hey, Andy, how many of these bottles of water do you have available for the customers to buy right now? You might not have been able to answer that question. Right?
Right.
So you got 150,000 items. Here's the key and the magic. How do I know exactly what I have and exactly where it is at all times in the store? So how many do I have on the shelf versus how many do I have in the back room? If I have an online picker picking groceries, how many of those are going to be disappointed because we don't have what they're asking for? What do we substitute? All that kind of stuff. So my big passion has been putting processes and technology to help measure that. So that could be everything from everything as simple as algorithms that tell you I'm selling 5 of these, all of a sudden I don't sell any anymore. Well, guess what? We're probably not available. Or there's technology called radio frequency identification. That's a lot of what I've spent the last 20 years working on, which allows stores to have better understanding of exactly what they have and where it's located. Instead of a inventory accuracy of 60%, it's now 95% plus. So I know what I've got. So that's a lot of what I did while I was at Walmart and P&G, actually. Been working on RFID for 25 years. And when I left, the reason I started Collaboration is because other people wanted to learn. Because they'd call me, for example, I'm doing some work with Kroger right now. And they call us, hey, can you tell us what we're doing at Walmart? I go, no, that's confidential. I can't share that. However, I can tell you what I did was at Walmart that didn't work. So if you want to avoid the same potholes we've made before, I think I can help you. So I'm working with companies like Kroger and Nordstrom's and Dick's Sporting Goods, et cetera, to help them stand up similar solutions so they know what they've got. And Omnichannel is all about delivering the product. You got to know what you have and where it's located to do that.
Good. Well, I'm so glad. Thanks for sharing us about your company.
Yeah.
Because Collaboration LLC, and we'll make sure that we have a link on our website, Doing Business in Bentonville, where you can contact Michael and his team and get more information about his company. Because I will tell you, you've heard a guy that's been in this business for 40 plus years. He's worked with great companies. He's now has a great company, and I know, Michael, that you're extremely competent in your space there, and I know you could really help organizations, companies, and nothing. We know now that nothing is more important than proper supply chain. We learned that the hard way.
Sure.
And we learned what happened when that supply chain gets disrupted.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you need to reach out to this guy. He can help you. If you need help in that area, this guy can help you for sure.
Thank you. I will, just in transparency, just let you know, Collaboration LLC is me.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO, the CFO, the project manager, the secretary, the receptionist, etc. So I'm just being transparent.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of bandwidth to do a lot more projects, but I'm more than happy to help people. But I just want to be transparent. This is not about me coming on to try and promote my business. I got more to say grace over than I can say right now. But I am happy to help people any way I can. But just want to make sure that it's one person.
Well, I think what I was referring to is your knowledge and expertise.
Yeah.
And because you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been there.
I can tell you what not to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes that's extremely important. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Michael, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been great to have you. For our guests, we're gonna have Tom Muccio on, and we've heard him talk about that. We're gonna have he and Michael back on very, very soon, and then you're gonna love it because you're going to get to hear some great stories, and Tom's gonna talk about P&G in those days and really some great learnings. And I believe Michael, Tom's. I don't know if I can announce this or not, but I think Tom's going to have a book coming out. Right?
We are.
Can I announce that?
I guess you just did. Yeah, we probably want to cut that out.
Yeah.
Just so you know. I think that's part of it. Tom, you think I'm a storyteller? Yeah. I learned a lot of storytelling techniques from Tom. He can tell stories for sure. But Tom was on the early stages, even before I was, about the whole P&G Walmart relationship. And foundationally, what he was able to do is change the culture from a selling organization for sales to a customer business development. And while that just seems like a name change, it basically said, I've got to have all the functions and all the different various business units up against Walmart. And they reapply it to other big customers as well. Yeah. It just is a smarter way to go to do business. So he'll be in a position. And by the way, you want to talk about Mr. Sam stories? He's got some Mr. Sam stories about when he was out hunting with Mr. Sam, and he goes, oh, dear God, I don't care if I get a duck, but please don't let me shoot Mr. Sam's dog. That would not be good. But we'll get some stories from him for sure.
For it. Okay, Michael Graen, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you today. I look forward to many more of our conversations. Okay? Looking forward to it. To our viewers and guests, thank you so much. Again, we appreciate all that you're doing for us. Continue to let us hear from you. And I look forward to talking with you next time. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again, Michael.
Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.